Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Another day, an example of some of the best weather in the country. Spring showers and storms this morning, heating up to summer-like warmth later on.
Plus, damage control at the White House after a report that President Trump shared top-secret information about ISIS with 2 Russian diplomats. And as many as 20,000 people might soon be out of a job. What Ford has to say about cutting its workforce. That story does top our news at noon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Evrod Cassimy. With thousands of jobs on the line, Ford is now responding. Our Rod Maloney is in Dearborn at Ford World Headquarters with a look at what they're saying. Rod?
We must always remember that the automotive industry is a cyclical industry. The ups, the downs matter greatly when it comes to employment. We've enjoyed over the past 4 or 5 years record auto sales every year. Those are the good times. Well, we hit 17.2 million vehicles sold last year. And that's probably as much as we can expect it's going to taper off. And as a result, the car companies need to then adjust their employment as they go along. But let's also remember that Ford had a board meeting last week. The board is deeply concerned about the fact that the stock's only about $11. That's not enough for them. They want to see better performance out of Mark Fields, the CEO. And so they're pressuring him to get serious about moving forward and making sure the company stays more profitable. And so that's what we're seeing here. Ford Motor Company is in the process of trying to cut about $3 billion worth of costs. That's an announcement they made previously. And so now it appears that they're looking to do that by cutting a lot of white-collar jobs in North America and also in Asia. Now, Ford usually doesn't say a whole lot in situations like this. In fact, they're sort of denying that this is really going on. But at the meantime, they also put out a statement today. And I'm going to read it to you. It's fairly long, so stick with me on this. It says, quote, "We remain focused on the 3 strategic priorities that will create value and drive profitable growth, which include fortifying the profit pillars in our core business, transforming traditionally underperforming areas of our core business, and investing aggressively but prudently in emerging opportunities. Reducing costs and becoming as lean and efficient as possible also remain part of that work," end quote. What they're essentially saying is they've got to make cuts, and the belief is that there's going to be a white-collar job program offered sometime between now and October, where upper paid white-collar workers are going to have the opportunity to leave the company. And of course, again, they're not talking about the specifics on this. We'll have some analysis from some analysts talking about what they can expect to see and why it is that they really need to do this. The bottom line is the industry is slowing down, and as it slows down, they cut jobs. In Dearborn, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Rod. A new report says President Trump shared classified intelligence information with Russian diplomats at the White House. In the meantime, a European official has told the Associated Press that their country might stop sharing intel with the United States if the president did give classified info to Russian diplomats. Jennifer Johnson explains how the White House is conducting damage control after the controversial report was released.
Another firestorm at the White House after President Trump reportedly shared highly classified information about a possible ISIS terror plot with Russian diplomats in the Oval Office last week. This morning, the president tweeted, "I wanted to share with Russia, which I have the absolute right to do, facts pertaining to terrorism." But the Washington Post is reporting the information was so sensitive it was not to be shared even with U.S. allies.
Or at least he launched into this part of the conversation in a boastful way. He was bragging about, "I get the best intel, I have these amazing, great briefings every day. You wouldn't believe the stuff I hear."
One of the diplomats in the meeting is a central figure in the Russia election hacking investigation. White House officials deny the president went off script.
2 other senior officials who were present, including the Secretary of State, remember the meeting the same way and have said so.
Lawmakers say releasing the information about ISIS using laptops to smuggle explosives onto planes could jeopardize sources' lives.
It also threatens our credibility in dealing with partners and allies who provide extraordinarily valuable and sensitive information.
Russia and the U.S. are often allies in fighting ISIS, but differ on battling the group in Syria.
I think we could do with a little less drama from the White House on a lot of things.
Lawmakers point out that what the president allegedly did was not illegal, just careless. The Post is also reporting that senior White House officials quickly tried to contain the fallout, calling the CIA and the National Security Agency about what allegedly happened. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
Cybersecurity experts are now saying North Korea might be behind the global cyber attack. As part of the attack, hackers demand payment from victims in bitcoins to regain access to their encrypted computers. Now, a South Korean antivirus company believes North Korea might be behind the attack because of its history using bitcoins with malicious computer programs. At this point, though, the origin of the attack is still unclear. And while an investigation is underway, cyber attacks are still happening around the world. The latest major company affected is Disney, with a potential future project being held hostage. Worldwide, the hackers have reportedly hacked more than 300,000 computers across 150 different countries. All right, so we started the morning a little bit wet, even a little bit of lightning in some areas, Brandon. It seems like everything's clearing out, and we could head to the park for lunch or something this afternoon.
Great idea. A little picnic if you have it, or maybe out on the patio. A little sunscreen, not a bad idea here the next few days. It is warming up. 71 degrees at Metro, comfortable. 70 in Pontiac. Notice on the east side here, we have southeast winds. They will turn south and southwest later in the day, but over the big lakes, carrying slightly cooler air. 62 degrees in Mount Clemens, 62 Grosse Ile, 61 in Harrow, Ontario. Still, most areas warmer than they were this time yesterday by as much as 10 or 15 degrees. Places like Ann Arbor and Jackson. We are warming things up. One of the most unpredictable things to forecast sometimes can be spring warm-ups because they can really take off. 71 degrees at noon here, 78 degrees at 2 p.m. Winds again become more of a southerly breeze, which brings a more uniform warm-up to us, and a little on the breezy side. 83. If not a little bit warmer. Again, we could see things taking off through the afternoon hours. We'll take a look at more summer heat in the 7-day coming up.
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Back here at home, closing arguments have concluded in the trial for Daniel Clay for the murder of Chelsea Bruck back in 2014. Prosecutors say Clay murdered Bruck during consensual rough sex after a Halloween party in Monroe County. Defense attorneys admit that there was sex between the two, but say Bruck's death was the result of manslaughter and not premeditated murder.
I'm going to acknowledge right here on the record that the prosecutor has proven this count. I'm asking you to find Daniel Clay guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
Members of the jury, the evidence proves that the defendant is guilty, beyond a reasonable doubt, of first-degree murder, both as a premeditated deliberate murder and as a felony murder.
Now, jury deliberations could start this afternoon. Of course, we are going to be there. We'll let you know the verdict once it is announced. An Allen Park man will be spending the next 12 years in prison after shooting 2 people on Christmas Day. It was last Christmas. Police say 60-year-old Charles Miller shot a 16-year-old and a 2-year-old during a party after an argument. Today, Miller was in court for his sentencing, where he apologized for what happened and said that he never meant to hurt his family.
I want to apologize to you for this embarrassing situation. I meant my wife and granddaughter no harm.
Well, ultimately, the judge sentenced Miller to 12 to 20 years in prison. Fortunately, both the 2-year-old and the 16-year-old victims have since been released from the hospital, and they are going to be okay. Another rally was held this morning to stop the deportation of Ann Arbor father Jose Luis Sanchez. Well, there you hear them chanting. Sanchez has been an Ann Arbor resident for 18 years now, has no criminal record, I should say, and he's married with 2 kids. He's scheduled to have a motion to reopen his case considered by the Board of Immigration Appeals at the end of the month, but Immigration and Customs Enforcement says that they have a plane ready to take him back to Mexico tomorrow. As a reminder, President Trump's proposed travel ban would suspend the nation's refugee program and temporarily ban new visas for citizens of Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. And since the announcement, federal courts in Hawaii and Maryland have blocked the ban from taking effect. Now the proposed travel ban is before 2 appellate courts in Washington state and Virginia and could eventually find its way to the Supreme Court, although it's unclear when that might happen. Still to come here on Local 4 News at noon, a new way of fighting opioid abuse, how a life-saving drug might be easier than ever to reach. Plus, controversial decision. A judge in Alabama blocks access to some potentially telling information. We'll tell you why the move is raising a red flag when we come back. Keep it here. Welcome back, everyone. We are following breaking news just into the Local 4 newsroom. General H.R. McMaster again addresses the report that President Trump shared classified intelligence information with Russian diplomats at the White House last week. Now, just moments ago, the president's national security advisor, H.R. McMaster, told White House press corps that the president did nothing wrong, but other issues should be discussed.
And so I think the real issue, and I think what I'd like to see really debated more, is that our national security has been put at risk by those violating confidentiality and those releasing information to the press that could be used connected with other information available to make American citizens and others more vulnerable.
You can count on us to continue to follow the developments in this story for you. We'll have more details coming up a little bit later on Local 4 News Today. A local judge in Alabama now has blocked the attempt of a death row inmate to release records of recent lethal injections. The inmate sought records of logs of recent executions in Alabama, particularly interested in one case in which an inmate coughed for 13 minutes during the process. But a county judge refused that request, saying it would be detrimental to the best interests of the public. Turning to good health now, it's a new way of fighting opioid abuse that would put a life-saving drug in your hands. A lockbox on the street that holds the life-saving drug Narcan. A 4-digit code from a dispatcher would give you access to that lockbox with the ability to administer the drug that comes in the form of a nasal spray. Those behind the idea, including Cambridge police and doctors at Brigham and Women's Hospital, say it's an innovative approach to help end the opioid crisis. So to come here on Local 4 News at noon. This afternoon, we're going Greek. And ahead in Tasty Tuesday, we'll take you to a local restaurant that's putting on an extra healthy spin on classic Greek cuisine. And Brandon, their food is delicious.
We had a massive sampling this morning. You don't want to miss it. Good Tasty Tuesday deal. And who's ready for summer? Flirting with 90 degrees. Next.
We have breaking news this afternoon for all coffee lovers, although there's no report from the company just yet. Witnesses have reported computer systems went down today at Starbucks coffee shops in the Metro Detroit area and apparently all across the country. Some Starbucks shops were even giving away free drinks to keep customers satisfied or closing their doors early. There's no word yet on what caused the problem or how many shops were affected. Brandon, over to you.
So these were witnesses that like half latte, frappuccino, coffee witnesses. Interesting. 71 degrees outside. We're looking live at Comerica Park. Welcome back, Detroit Tigers. It was a long road trip. Wasn't the greatest, wasn't the worst, but we're going to be back home against a really good team tonight in the Baltimore Orioles. South wind is at 11 and likely will be a little bit stronger through much of the afternoon. But I think this evening it won't be super strong wind out of the south. So as you tailgate for the Orioles and Tigers first pitch 7:10, still in the low 80s at 6 o'clock, 80 degrees at 8 p.m. That sun goes down a little after 8:30, about 8:45, and 75 degrees as you're walking out of the ballpark. A wonderful summer night at the ballpark. Clouds are clearing and temperatures are taking off. We mentioned at the beginning of the show that sometimes spring warm-ups are pretty unpredictable. I could see temperatures taking off to 85, 87 degrees maybe in some of your neighborhoods, but east siders with the winds off of the Big Lake may be a little bit cooler than that. South winds 7 to 17. Nice night ahead again at the ballpark this evening. We're fine. Overnight lows, which is really about 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, about 65 degrees. That's it. And then we're on our way again. We had the rain and thunder showers coming through here early this morning. A decent little deluge in some spots. Not for everybody, but a good chunk of the area saw a decent spring shower. And now we have a warm front that we're watching. And this is moving up from south to north, and it will bring temperatures even warmer into your Wednesday. Warm, windy busy Wednesday coming your way. Here is the timeline, 4 o'clock this afternoon on the computer model. No problemos. As we head into Wednesday again, really nothing much happening. I think we get a couple of clouds due to the warmth building, and the humidity is going to be up tomorrow. That is 87 Wednesday, which means the heat index will be closer to 90. As we hit Thursday, we do have a chance for a couple of scattered showers, but still middle 80s. Friday is Cold Front Friday, but no dramatic turn. It will be noticeably cooler, but nothing bottoming out on us. As we hit the weekend, improving news there as well. No washout Saturday. It's late Saturday into Sunday, wet weather.
All righty, let's get into Tasty Tuesday. So talking about two brothers, Greek ones with 2 restaurants, one in Troy and one in Royal Oak.
Yeah, and this is such a olive oiled machine with a menu that'll make you say whoop-ah, but you're going to want to franchise your own Kalamata.
The concept for Kalamata Greek Grill was easy for the Shinonis brothers, whose dad immigrated to Detroit in the 1950s running restaurants.
We took some of the family recipes from our family in Greece and we did them in a modern spin.
The Kalamata concern is customers who think this is just like every other Greek restaurant or Coney coffee shop.
It's easy, it's fast, and it's also, most of the options on our menu are pretty healthy.
Euro your way with fresh chicken or lamb. It's the most popular item, and Kalamata again has a passion for the pita you hold tight.
We have our own pita bread recipe, making it fresh all day long. I mean, we're making a couple hundred pieces of pita every single day.
The Shinonis brothers brag a bit about building the original Power Bowl.
Greek quinoa, lentils, chopped tomatoes, feta cheese, a bunch of other vegetables. We toss it with a lemon dressing, and we served a hot protein on top.
Kalamata calmly created a healthier way to fill yourself with falafel. You crave a kale Greek salad or are spying spinach pies, it's all handmade here with recipes from the Greek Cultural Center known as Kalamata.
Mouth is watering, excuse me. Kalamata Greek Grill offering a buy one, get one free Euro or Euro Bowl when you mention Tasty Tuesday. Again, 2 locations, one in Troy on Crooks Road and the other on Woodward in Royal Oak. And for this Tasty Tuesday segment and all the others, head to the Scene on 4 page of clickondetroit.com. Send me an email. Would love to hear what you would like us to feature on Tasty Tuesday.
Absolutely. He is a Michigan native and a Mason Blue fan.
And during a show over the weekend, Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Chad Smith let fans in Columbus, Ohio know just where he stands when it comes to Buckeye Nation.
Hail, hail to Michigan, the champions of the West.
Well, there you heard it. All those boos didn't stop him as he sang Michigan's fight song in its entirety. Go Blue. All right, so to come here on Local 4 News at noon, new mom April the Giraffe is healthy and thriving. We'll tell you how you can see her and her newest addition in person. That's next.